If you love Vanderpump Rules, toxic men takedowns, or have ever dated a narcissist, listen up. Let's break down this Vander-DUMPster fire of the season. Because this show literally did the unthinkable. They literally took an alleged raging narcissist, heavy emphasis on the raging, and spoon-fed him his road to redemption. Not only giving him the green light to gaslight, but giving him the cast crew and airtime to do it. Except he had one problem in his attempts to spin the "I'm the true victim" narrative. Ariana Maddox is not the one. And as much as I absolutely loathed the Sandoval, I am living for the Sandoval. As in, this man spent the entire season falling flat on his face. When a narcissist is called out, particularly publicly, the first thing on their mind is to shift the narrative and shift the blame with a smear campaign. Basically, they try to make you look like shit so that whenever you say the bad things that they did, they're like, "Oh no, she's crazy, remember? You can't trust her." Ugh. But the Vanderpump Rules cast and crew said, "No worries, Sandy, we'll run the campaign for you." You see, Ariana was attempting to go no contact with Sandoval, which is actually the best approach to do with a narcissist. She was doing her very best not to speak with him and also did not want mutual friends with him, which, by the way, I guarantee you she talked to the entire show about prior to starting filming. Now, unfortunately, this fits Sandoval's narrative perfectly. He was saying he'd film with her, he didn't mind, he was agreeable. She was the one being stubborn. He was more than willing. No shit, buddy, because she didn't do anything to you. She didn't sleep with your best friend for like 7 months. She didn't backstab and betray you. So yeah, I'm sure you had no problem filming with her. And initially, no one wanted to talk to Sandoval either, but as narcissists tend to do, again, allegedly he is one, he weaseled his way back on into the group. And funny enough, like a narcissist does, he wore a different face for every person he was trying to manipulate. And as I break down the many faces of Sandoval, remember, this is why Ariana does not want to share mutual friends with this man. Because as long as he is breathing, he will try to be spinning the fact that he is the victim and she is the bad guy, and using said friends against her. Now, historically speaking, Sandoval has used two main tactics when manipulating people, particularly when he's called out for bad behavior. I call it the boo-hoo and the screw you. Either he would just bawl like a baby, which we saw so many times this season, or he'd just scream in people's face, particularly women. Because as we know, when it comes to narcissism, another thing that's close behind is schmishmogyny. Literally, this is a YouTube video, you can see the creator here, of 7 minutes of Sandoval screaming at women. But in case that doesn't sell you on the schmishmogyny of it all, despite the fact that there's a 7-minute montage of him screaming at women, he said the following.
As a cis male,
did you say cyst?
whatever it's called, as a woman, you are allowed to raise your voice, yell, do whatever you feel entitled to do. But as a straight male, if I was a woman, I could do that. If I was a gay male, I could do that. But as a straight male, if I raise my voice, it's wrong. So.
You sound real #men's rights right now, and it's kind of gross.
Agreed, queen. Super gross. Totally gonna set aside the cis male thing because, gotta love when someone performatively tries to use the right terminology only to get it wrong and then use it for evil. But like, it's wrong when I yell at people. Then why do you do it all of the time? But this season, he was using his tools a little more wisely when it came to manipulation. And to me, he had 3 main targets of women he was going to go after to see if he could turn them into flying monkeys for him. Target number 1 is Lisa Vanderpump herself. We know that Lisa Vanderpump has always had a soft spot for the toxic men around her, particularly her baby boys from the crew. It's giving toxic boy mom. But this season, his manipulation was even more diabolical in my opinion. Lisa recently lost her brother to unaliving himself, and in my opinion, Sandoval used that to his advantage. Not only last season did he do this whole crying routine on her where he was having like a shaking mental breakdown, but he continued that whole narrative this season, making himself seem like a man on the edge. And after the tragedy she had suffered with her brother, you can see how this effect would work on her. acting like he might do something stupid, he might do something crazy, making veiled statements. And if you think I'm reading too much into it, she actually admitted that this was the fear with Sandoval for her. When she was at lunch with Scheana and Lala, she said to take it easy on him, referencing her brother. Which brings us to our second target, Scheana. Now, Scheana is known to have some pick-me behaviors and wants nothing more than to be accepted and chosen and appreciated. And Sandoval knows this. So what does he do? He makes her feel special. He's back to back with her at a meditation, crying to her. Despite the fact that they never appear to be that close, all of a sudden, she means so much to him. He tells her everything she's been dying to hear. Their friendship is special. She is special. How much he appreciates that she's been by his side. How strong their bond is. And just like that, Scheana is now playing both sides. Which takes us to target number 3. Lauren from Utah. Oh, I mean Lala. On the boat, Lala actually starts to open up to him. She calls him out for lying. Really, she just wants some accountability and to do her, I'm going to call you out to your face kind of thing because I'm a tough girl from Utah. And as much as Sandoval is dying for the validation from her, is dying to have her on his side, we know one thing. Sandoval cannot stand a woman standing up to him. You know he has to scream in her face. I want you to pay attention to this argument because there's some hypocrisy that's going to swing back around later. Now, mind you, Lala's calling him out for the affair and how he lied to all of them for so long. And he's like, well, you had an affair for 6 years, which Lala does not like that time of her being a mistress with Randall being brought up. Which, of course, Sandoval knows. Because when Sandoval's put in a corner, if the boo-hoo's not working, the screw you is coming out.
It's not about me. It's about you right now.
Okay, and I'm taking accountability.
No, you're not. You still have yet to say, you know what, it was stuff of me to say that you needed to be real while I was in my girl's best friend.
In 6 years of it, Lala, while all of us are being transparent, all of us are really putting our lives out there, and you are not.
So he's saying that she wasn't real because she didn't talk about her affair on the show. What? Sir, you didn't talk about the affair on the show. You had the affair while you were filming, and then you got busted, which is the only reason you ever talked about it. And even so, last year on the reunion, you were still lying about the timeline. What? But again, it doesn't matter. The truth is irrelevant. He's just trying to hurt her and get her off her game and say something vile to her that he knows will upset her because he knows that's a sensitive subject. Because if a narcissist is not winning an argument, they're just going to start swinging and try to cut you or hurt you in whatever way they can. And yet again, the show set up this meeting. They are not even giving him a slow pitch at this point. They are putting the ball on the tee for his little redemption arc, and all he has to do is swing, but it is a swing and a miss. But don't worry, if a narcissist knows one thing, it is how to pivot. And where is Ariana for all of this? Stay tuned for part 2. Sorry, this is long, but my God, is there a lot to say.
F the nice guy.